What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the US, let me know what country you're representing. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop first. I do have a little house cleaning to do before I get started. I should have done this in advance, but here we are. Hold on a second. Okay, back, because you're looking for the same thing. It's a new thing. Check out this I bring. Say, man, if y'all don't know what that is, I feel sorry for you, man. Like, there's a lot of great artists throughout the years, and we can go back and forth about top fives and top tens and all of this stuff all day long. But Public Enemy, oh man, if you're not hip to Public Enemy, you're doing yourself a grave injustice. I mean, just great music, great lyricists, and on top of that, good dudes overall, just a class act. Public Enemy. Man, man, I listen to that PE, man, I'd be like, hey, I'm like ready to ride and do something. All right, fam. If you want to skip the line, you can jump into the super chat. You want to skip the line, make sure that your comment go notice. You can jump into the super chat. And what happens there is that I will check out your comment. I'm gonna go in on this subject, and then I'll come back and I'll check the chat, starting with the super chat. Then I work my way over to the regular chat. I want to send a big shout out to my moderator in the building, Miss Michi. We missed you yesterday, Miss Michi. Was that yesterday? No. That wasn't yesterday. That was Sunday. Yeah, we miss you. Let's see. And okay, so here it is, fam.
Shirt and pants is he wearing?
Hold on.
He have on that.
Okay, so we have the police is trying to use these bully tactics again. Anytime, police remind me, a lot of these police agencies remind me of little kids. When they don't get what they want, they take their ball and leave, right? So what's happening is in Wisconsin, police departments are withdrawing from their agreements to send personnel to help bolster security at the Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee next month, all because of a recent order for the city's police to stop using tear gas to control crowds. Yeah, fam, that's it. They are mad because they can't tear gas the people. A citizen oversight commission last week directed Milwaukee's police chief to publicly announce, let me back up. A citizens oversight commission last week directed Milwaukee's police chief to publicly account for why the department used tear gas during protests in late May and early June after the killing of George Floyd, and to change Milwaukee's police policies to ban the use of tear gas and pepper spray. The Milwaukee Fire and Police Commission said that in its order that Police Chief Alfonso Morales could be fired if he fails to comply. That order comes amid intense scrutiny of police tactics at protests in Portland, Oregon, and elsewhere. Since the Milwaukee order was issued, police departments in Fond du Lac, Franklin, and West Allis have backed out of assisting with providing security at the Democratic National Convention, the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reported Tuesday. The departure casts doubt on the viability of the program designed to bring about 1,000 officers from outside agencies to provide security at the National Convention. Now, check this out. This convention is scheduled for August 17th through 20th. However, it has been greatly scaled down. Only about 300 people will actually attend the convention. Everybody else, all of the people that are going to be speaking and stuff, they will be live. They will be live via satellite or Zoom, but they expect thousands of people to be on the outside protesting. So what's happening is that the police have decided, they get to decide whether they want to serve and protect when they feel like it. And oftentimes, they don't serve and protect anyway. And this is indicative of their behavior. Like, who gets to go to a job and decide when they want to do the job or not, when they want to perform their duties or not? Well, you know what? I've been assigned, I've been assigned to do this job, but you know what? I don't feel like doing it. You know what? In fact, I decide I'm not going to do it at all. Who gets to do that? These police officers forget that they are public servants. Nothing more. They are public servants. They work for us. And I think enough of us, we don't act like bosses. We got to start acting like bosses when we deal with the police. You know how a boss would, like, somebody start tripping on the job and they start acting like they're going to tell you what to do, and they start acting like they're running the show. And you go, wait a minute, hold on, man. You work for me. That's how the citizens of America need to start acting when dealing with the police. And we can't be afraid of consequences. If we stick together and we ride together and we mob together on them, they won't be able to do anything. They're going to have to conform. They'll have to comply. Ultimately, the people in all communities want to feel safe. And, on the surface, it seems like a good idea, to have police officers. It seems like a good idea. But when you look at the data, you look at the paperwork, you look at the documentation, so many, hundreds of thousands of cases of police officers cutting up, breaking the law, disrespecting people, violating people's rights. And now, they're out there on the streets right now, busting heads in Portland and in other places around the country. And they're treating the protesters like the protesters are some type of invaders or something, like the protesters come from some foreign land and are invading America or something. Like, they're not acting like public servants. They're acting like a class of tyrannical beings or something. Like they're not acting like that they're for the people. But at the same time, while they're doing all of this stuff, they want to demand respect. They want us, after we watching all of this stuff that they're out there doing in the streets, we're watching them bust people's heads, just run up to people and just beating them up. They still want us to respect them. Like, they don't even do that in their own life. They don't even respect people that don't respect them in their own life. But they want the people to respect them, but they don't respect the people. There was a dude walked up to a police officer I saw in a video clip. I believe that was Portland. And he asked the police officer, "Is that a Blue Lives Matter mask you're wearing?" And another officer just ran up to him and charged him and threw him down and just manhandled him. Like, so these police officers, man, they can't do too much, family, if we all get together. We all mob on them at the same time and every time. You see, I saw a video of a soccer match. I believe it was Brazil. I'm almost certain it was Brazil. And this guy ran out onto the field naked. Now, no. Was he naked? No, I don't think he wasn't naked. He ran out onto the field during the soccer match. Now, granted, he was wrong for running out on the field, but he was just being silly, trying to get some jokes, trying to be seen. So he runs out on the field. The police goes and tackles the guy. They contain him. And they just start beating on the dude. Now, they already got him under control. They already got him restrained. And they just start punching on the dude. Now, in America, we're so desensitized to having our respects, to having our rights violated. We just look at it and say, well, he should have just complied. He shouldn't have been doing it. He shouldn't have ran out on the field. That's what we would say. And it would be an open and shut case. But the people in Brazil, they started getting up out of their seats. All people from all directions started getting out, walking from out of the stands, and they descended on the, they ascended on onto the field and started beating the police up. A few other cops tried to come out there and help them. They ran all them fools up out of there. You know why? Because the people is more people than cops. And it's power in numbers. If just that dude's buddy would have went out there and tried to help him, they would have mobbed on him and dragged him and cut him up too. Bust his head. If 3 or 4 of them would have went out there, they would have did the same thing to them. Perhaps even if 8 or 9 of them would have went out there, they would have overwhelmed them. Because it's at least a couple hundred cops at those games. But it's 30, 40,000 people in the stands. They can't win. So those people just came up out of the stand and rushed them. And then any cops that's thinking about joining the mob gonna be like, you know what, let me back up. I don't want none of that action. Because cops are people too. They don't want that action. They don't want that smoke. But we are so brainwashed into thinking that the police is the end all be all in America. Like we got to do everything they say go. That's why they act the way they act. Because you teach people how to treat you. And we've taught police officers in America to disrespect us, to violate our rights, because we don't stand up for each other. And so what happens? Eventually, you might feel like you're cool because you're up high on your perch and you think you straight and, well, that's them and, something like that could not happen to me, And then the next thing you know, it's happening. Perhaps it don't happen to you directly, but it happens to you indirectly because your son went out there to protest on either side, got his head bust in by the police, or got pulled over, asked a question, police having a bad day, banged on him, perhaps shot him in the head. Don't move, poop, trigger happy. See, we got to stop all the trigger happy police officers. Whether you are a selfish person or you for the community, you for all people, even if you are a racist, you gotta, when you see these cops violating their rights, understand that eventually they will get around to you and your family. Even if you're a police officer, eventually they'll get around to you and your family because they don't know every single person in your family. They might catch you out of pocket at one point. You might not get a chance to say, hey, look at me, I'm one of you. Boom. It's over. These cops, they got to be dealt with, man. That's why we're saying defund the police, because We don't need all these police officers out here. What's happening the most of the time you see police officers? What are they doing, family? Tell me. Most of the time you see police officers. What are they doing? They're sitting on their ass in a car, pulling people over, writing tickets. This is what the majority of police officers on the streets are doing. They're writing tickets, fam. They're shaking the people down, writing tickets. They're writing tickets. Don't tell me about how dangerous the police job is. It's not dangerous in comparison to window washing. Now, you see, y'all don't want to pay window washers $75,000 a year. But window washers actually have a much more difficult job, and they have many more casualties than police officers. It's more people die in construction every year than police officers. More bus drivers die, more lumberjacks die. So this whole thing, you know, it's propaganda. It's to make us think that we're getting some type of protection that we're really not getting. If we're so protected, fam, why is it that you feel less safe today than you did last year or 5 years ago or 10 years ago? Why do you feel less safe? When I ask that question to most people, they say they feel less safe today than they did 4 years ago, 8 years ago, 20 years ago. They feel less safe. So how do you justify continuing to get more police officers? We're always getting more police officers, and the crime rate continues to go up. So the answer ain't police officers. If the crime rate is continuing to go up, the answer cannot be more police officers. That is common sense. If you're locking up more and more people, which you're not even considering that most of these people are profiled, and they're locking up blacks and Hispanics. So you're not even considering that part. Just the fact that they continue to lock up more and more and more and more and more people. The numbers are not going down. What does that tell you? The system that we have does not work. This is what's happening. But, you know, they show one person get killed or a police officer get killed, and there y'all go, writing the rights away again. Just let them just do whatever they want to do again. Well, because we got to be safe. We're trying to feel safe. We're giving up our rights to feel safer, but we don't feel safe. And the more rights we give up, the less safer we feel. We still don't feel safe. And I'm not just talking about people in poor communities. I know people that are living in gated communities who do not feel safe. Number one, the hint is they're in a gated community because they want to feel safe. They don't feel safe. That's why they're in a gated community. They would not feel safe without those gates and those guards. But guess what? They got to come outside of those gates. At some point, they got to come outside of those gates. And they got to deal with everybody else. They got to deal with all of us. All of us who live inside, I live inside a gated community. But at some point, I got to get up out of there. And I got to mix it up with everybody else. Now, when I mix it up with everybody else, I think I would rather be around people that feel like they have a chance, like they have some hope, like they're being treated fairly, you know, like they have a fair shot like anybody else, like they're not feeling hunted or targeted, like they can go anywhere and don't have to worry about, oops, that's a person that don't look like me, maybe that's trouble. I don't want to live in that type of world, and that's where we are right now. So we're giving up all of these rights, continue to give up all these rights, but we feel less safe with all, and we're continuing to give up rights, and more and more and more. Soon as something else happens again, we're gonna give up something else. because that's the way it goes. Going into the comments, fam, starting with Jimmy King. What up, Jimmy? Appreciate you. Let's give some shout outs to the newest members of the channel. Phenomenal, India Burns, Miss Libra. I thought you were already a member, an official member of the channel. Well, welcome to level 3, Miss Libra. Charlena Reeves, and who is that? Miss Nessa B. Miss Nessa B. What's up, Miss Nessa B? Show them some love, fam. Welcome to the channel. You're welcome once, you're welcome twice, you're welcome, welcome, welcome. That's how I used to say in church back in the old days. I used to go to one of the old Baptist churches, and the lady would read the resolutions. It always an old lady with a jacked up wig. She'd be on there like talking about the building fund and the pastor's anniversary. And she started talking about the different, the members. She'll tell people that visiting to stand up. You know, you stand up if you're not from the church. If you're from another church, if you're visiting, we want you to stand up. Everybody stand up, get recognized. And she'll say something about the pastor. And then she say, you're welcome once, you're welcome twice. You're welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah. St. Louis in the building. Mansa Musa. Sister Christian, what's up? GS says, then defund them, stop crying. I don't like that. I don't like nobody talking like that. They're talking too tough. I got to get you. We don't like that around here, man. You either with me or you against me. I don't like that. You ain't got to agree with me, man, but all that old talking about telling the people they crying because they talking about defunding the police, I'm not with that program. I'm not with that program at all. Ron Sylvia. Yeah, man, that's my belt. That's the one that they gave me when that's a Rappers Federation belt. That's the one that I won in Harlem. Jimmy King, what up? Mississippi in the building. Let's see. Nola Soul, lovely, lovely, 505. Who is that? Dark Namja? Want to welcome all of the new members who are subscribers, all of the new subscribers to the channel. Just to clear up something real quick, subscribers and members are two different things. The subscribers are the people that click on that button and subscribe to the channel. The members are the people who actually hit that join button in the detail, or it might be featured on your laptop, desktop, or your notebook. And that's where you become an official member of the channel, and you get some cool perks in return. You dig what I'm saying? So Deanna just became an official member of the channel. Welcome to level 2, Deanna. Let's see what it do, Dream Chasing. Jonathan Hayes. What's up, Jonathan? This is my homeboy D1 shirt. It says, be real, be righteous, be relevant. Be real, be righteous, be relevant. Dee Dee from Toronto, what up? What's up, Dave Johnson? Shay Riemann, ATL, Dr. Drew, the real Dr. Drew. What up? Louisiana in the building. Michael Kumo, what up, Mike? Queens in the building. Stebby J, Chicago. Antoinette Williams, what up? Kendrick says Trump and his gang of thugs want to be dictators. They want to do what they want and nobody isn't supposed to say anything. Rashida Nams, what's up, Rashida? Lisa Hayden, boxing MMA, asking me how do I see these protests ending. I hate to say a lot of people getting badly hurt. I don't see them ending well, but I see a compromise, but like only like a superficial compromise. It's not going to be anything significant because the people keep taking L's. The people in America ain't willing to go all the way there. So if you're not willing to go all the way, then you're gonna always you're gonna compromise what you can get out of the deal. Like the police willing to go all the way. Right, Tony Snow. All symbolic gestures. Exactly. See where we at, Mary Washington. TT Scorpio. Virginia in the house. Manchester, Connecticut in the building. H. Charlie Miller. I see Craig Brown, Omaha. See, just logged in. What did I miss? If you just tuning in, we're talking about these police agencies in Wisconsin who have decided to withdraw from agreements to send personnel to help bolster security at the Democratic National Convention in Milwaukee next month. They cited concerns with a recent order for the city's police to stop using tear gas to control the crowds. So in a nutshell, that's what it is. They don't like the fact that the city issued an order for them to stop tear gassing people. They want to tear gas folks. So they decided that they want to pull out of the agreement because they can't tear gas people. A citizens oversight committee last week directed Milwaukee's police chief to publicly account for why the department used tear gas during protests in late May and early June after the killing of George Floyd, and to change Milwaukee police policies to ban the use of tear gas and pepper spray. See, the big fuss is that they were just tear gassing people, just hitting anybody up with the tear gas, but there's no rhyme or reason. You know, oh, I don't like you standing, get out of the way. Psh, just tear gassing people. You know, so the oversight committee, you know, got together with some of the other officials and they put their heads together and say, hey man, you can stop that. We need to shut that down. And they don't like it. So, you know, like the little kid that can't play on the field with the big boys, you want to take his ball and go home when the rules don't work in his favor. You know, he don't want to follow the rules. He can't compete. So rather than trying to compete, rather than trying to get a loan, he decides to take his ball and leave the court. So far, since the Milwaukee order was issued, police departments in Fond du Lac, Franklin, and West Allis have backed out of assisting with providing security at the Democratic National Convention. And they say that they expect others to back out. Hell, I say order private security. Put those private security companies to work, because there's a lot of them out there and they could use the money better. You know, I think they can use the money more than the police officers can. You know, it's a side hustle for the police officers, but for these security companies, that's what they do. You know, hire some of these little security companies, small security companies that got, you know, 6 to 10 people. Hire some of those. Hire a bunch of them. There's a bunch of them around in that area. Get those guys to come out and pay them. Give them that money. I bet you they'll crack the next time, because they'll know that you don't have to take that. You don't have to deal with that. When you hire somebody, you hire a person to do the job based on your standards, based on what you want, not what they want to give you. If I don't care what kind of job you typically do. If I hire you and say, hey, you know, I want to hire you to do this job. You know, I like this, that, whatever. I'm hiring you because of this, that, or whatever. But I need you to do this just a little differently. Like, so maybe I hire a painter because I know or I hire a home builder because that home builder has an impeccable record. But I tell that home builder, look, I I know what you normally do, but I need you to do mine just a little bit differently. You know, I think I want to be able to. I think I want my bedroom door to connect to the kitchen. I want to be able to come out of my bedroom and be right in the kitchen. If I hire you to do that job, that's the job you need to do, or I'm gonna get somebody else to do it. And yes, that is a weird uh, request. However, I'm paying for it, and that's what I want. Maybe I'm a weird dude, so I want a door right by the kitchen. I want my door, when I open the door, I want to be right there in the kitchen. As soon as I open my door, I want to be right there in the kitchen. And you got some people whose bedroom doors are right across the hall from the kitchen, you know, right one door over from the kitchen. So why I can't have my door to be right there? Well, as soon as I open the door, boom, I'm in the kitchen. They actually got some older houses like that already. If you typically don't do patios on your, you know, for your when you home build, well, I want a patio. Uh, Maybe you typically don't do, even if you do a patio, maybe you typically don't do wood patios or patio decks. Well, I want a wooden deck. Give me what I want. I'll hire somebody else to do the job. And that's what the city of Milwaukee needs to do for the convention. Just hire somebody else. Because they're not doing a hell of a job anyway, fam. They're not doing a job that can't be taught in 24 hours. The way they're out here beating up people and killing people and stuff, the job don't require a whole lot. I don't see the job requiring a whole lot of expertise. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. What's up, Nathan Payne? Rodney the Ripper? Kenan, Cape Town, South Africa in the house. What's up, Kenan? Brian Maley, what up? Absolutely, man. Brian said, man, you always give a shout out to the bus drivers, us bus drivers. We appreciate you. Yeah, I mean, I salute the bus drivers, man, because, you know, I used to ride the bus, man, and I used to give bus drivers hell. So I know what bus drivers go through. You know, when I see these bus drivers, like, you know, like getting attacked or something like that, and these bus drivers retaliate, I'll be like, I understand. I understand. Bus drivers are people too. But I also know people that own bus driving companies, you know, that own transportation companies. They own buses. And my best friend's grandmother owned a busing company. So she owned a bunch of school buses. So uh, I've seen both sides. I've seen those people put their work in, and I know how hard they work. So a lot of times people underestimate bus drivers and they look down on bus drivers, but you know, hey man, bus drivers get people where they need to go. Shit, you know, if it wasn't for these bus drivers, a whole lot of people wouldn't make it to work. So that's an essential worker. These people that own these bus companies, those are essential workers. They are providing an essential service. End begins. Doris Wise. Okay, fam. That's it. That's my time. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. And remember, fam, defund the police. Oh, let me give some final shout outs. Phenomenal India Burns, Miss Libra, Charlena Reeves, Miss Nessa, Jimmy King, Deanna Anika Godbolt. Godbolt. Bald. that's a tough one. You got to know that name to say it. And then you got Michael Kumo. Also, shout outs to my moderators on duty, Miss Michi and Rashida. I appreciate y'all. Until next time, fam. No more talk.